Greetings, everybody. Today's Saturday, December 22nd, 2018, and the sun has not yet risen. It is a little after 6 a.m. here, and the lighting is not that great right now, so just bear with me. I will try to keep this brief, but haven't done a video in a while, and we're going to be heading out for a few days to stay with my daughter and son-in-law for the Christmas weekend. And so in that spirit, I'd like to first of all wish everybody Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season for those of you that celebrate this time of year, and for everybody to just kind of look back at the last year real quickly and share some thoughts from this end. This year has been unique for me as I have transitioned back into the trading industry full-time, 24/7, just about. Of course, we do sleep. And in building out the network, which has been a passion and a love of mine. And I'll follow up the greetings, holiday greetings, with a thank you for all of you who have been a part of what we have been working toward over the past 7 months or so. I want to thank anyone whose paths have crossed ours over the last year. I hope that you have found your time with us and continue to find your time with us beneficial and rewarding, and you leave or you end the year with a more positive view, a more engaged view, a more hopefully distinct view of the markets. It's been unique in growing out a network which is global, a network which is comprised of many different personalities, many different approaches, many different strategies. I think back to the folks who have been a part of what we have done over the past not quite a year, but I've gotten to know so many of you so very, very well. Your strategies, JD, the morning lows, Greg, the afternoon scalps, the Nish, the stuff that you have been talking through daily, and as you have grown, I could go on and list names, and I just want to thank all of you for being a part of what we've tried to do. It's a challenge, admittedly, in building out a network which is made up of diverse personalities. We all share, though, something in common. We share passion. We share the spirit of entrepreneurship. We share a bond. If you're listening to this, we all share a bond of some sort. We may not always share the same strategy. We may not always agree on in principle. We all have varying degrees of success, of challenge, of level of aggression, personality, ego. I'm sure I measure somewhere on this ego scale, putting me up there. You know, I never intend my passion to come across as ego, but I'm sure it does at times. And if it does, and if it's reached that level beyond reasonableness, I apologize. But this year has allowed me to really dig in deep into myself and into this market, and into this business in a spirit of doing things that I have always thought about doing, wanted to do. And many of you have given me that opportunity to do this, not only by myself, but alongside all of you, as we have built, as we have refined, and you have made me a better person this year. And to that extent, I thank you. Again, we all share a common bond. It's fascinating when you look at what our country is going through, what our world is going through, and what our industry is going through. We are a combination, a consolidation of such diversity. And that's what makes the market. There's always someone on the other side of a trade. There's always someone who's going to be having a somewhat different strategy. And so how do you develop a cohesive network, in our case, which is accretive to all, which is beneficial to all, which is an asset to all, while also balancing out all the different needs and uniques and suggestions and approaches and styles and all that. And like this world, it's a balance. I have chosen, and our leadership team has chosen, one particular way of approaching what we do here, and we've laid down some rules, and we've tried our best to stick by those rules, and to the extent that you have come across our venue and you have, I politely, hopefully asked you to reconsider your involvement. It's because what we're trying to do is we're trying to keep things pure and clean and ego out and everybody rowing fairly consistently to the extent that we can to benefit all. The analogy I use a lot in our room is like in the NBA, zone defense. Well, you can't really play zone in the NBA, so maybe college. Zone defense versus man-to-man. where, we may be focused, and we are focused in our ongoing room and on, let's say, zone defense. So it's very difficult to incorporate someone who wants to go man-to-man in defense, which works, which is a great strategy and can be extremely beneficial. But you can't mix it with the zone defense. So, we've had some issues where folks have traded a little bit differently, and have decided to move on. And to all of you, I thank you. I thank you so much for being a part of this. I thank you for the honor and the privilege of learning from you and working alongside of each of you. Then we could get into the combinations. If you're familiar with basketball, you get boxing one, which is 4 people in a zone and 1 guy on the star, right? So I guess where I'm going with this is it's been a challenge and a love for me to do what we are continuing to do as we grow toward the end of the year. We've again also gotten to know each other very well as family. We've lost 2 parents at this end under very unfortunate circumstances. I've gotten to know deep family and personal loss at your end. I've gotten to know your challenges. This engaging that I've been able to do over this past year has led me to not only different depth in my own trading and approach to the markets, but a new in-depth knowledge of so many of you. I am passionate. I am passionate to a fault, to a large fault in my approach, and I know that will set some of you off. But if you're watching this, you're still kind of sticking with me. So God bless you. I thank you for that. We've had times this year where we were doing. I don't know if I have my office as a mess here, but we were doing the Uncommon Life study in the morning, which I'm thinking about resurrecting for our team. It's meant as it says here, a daily challenge. My challenge at this end is managing energy half the time. So we've had to decide what to do, what to keep, and what to shelve, and all that kind of stuff. So again, though, this year this time of year is reflective. This time of year is reflective, and I am blessed. I have been extremely blessed in this industry to have been given a bit of a pulpit, whether it's small, large, whatever, to do this in a way, approach this business in a way where it's not by myself, and that's a gift that for some reason I've been given over the years. And it's a gift that I treasure, and it's a gift that I want to try to pass on, try to make it mutually beneficial to the extent possible. I look back to some of the earlier days, the videos, 10, 15, 20 years ago, and my approach then and my approach now. There's so much that's remained the same, but there's been an evolution, and I hope that evolution has been to the good. As we often say, God is still working on me. He's not done yet. We grow, again, in the spirit of the holiday season, in the spirit of recognizing that we all are continuing to wake up each day, hopefully with the aspiration of doing better than yesterday, both as a trader and as a human being. That remains a gift for all of us, and to be able to do that alongside so many of you in whatever fashion is a privilege that I do recognize. Again, when my passion for doing this exceeds the level of which you're comfortable with which you're comfortable, I'm sorry. I do. I sincerely apologize. I think we're in a world where we don't do that enough. We don't say I'm sorry enough. We don't say I apologize enough. And in a business where you have to have the confidence of a trader, but you've got to manage the ego, we have varying degrees of success at all of our respective ends. So, in terms of looking ahead, we're continuing to enhance the stream that we have for those folks as part of the network. We're getting more affiliates on board. I want to make sure that the membership fee ends up being again, income accretive, that it becomes an asset, so that it allows you to develop a stronger revenue stream, and it makes you feel part of a larger community. Again, in a way where we've kept some things fairly strict in terms of strategy sharing, in terms of approach, in terms of we've done some things, frankly, where I've been involved with rooms to one extent over another over the past so many years that I know the pitfalls, and I'm willing to forego, the leadership team is willing to forego any level of subscription revenue, if you want to call it that, which most of it gets reinvested in the technology. If we've got folks that it just doesn't work. We do not allow after the fact trade posts, for example. We do not allow folks who never commented to all of a sudden say, I'm out with, a 30-point gain, and I've had discussions with those people. We don't allow people to post entries unless you are either rowing along with the strategy that we're following or whether you have given everybody a heads up in terms of what you're doing. To all of a sudden come in here out of the blue and say, something like that, is getting back to the zone defense versus man-to-man. It's like you're playing a basketball court and all of a sudden someone jumps on the court and it's like, well, whoa, wait a minute. We had the play design and all this, and then you have a level of focus. So we've done some things. And I've been fairly strict with that, and to the extent that some of you have been politely asked to move on, please understand the spirit with which that was intended. It's a challenge. So we continue to be dedicated on building something that is very unique, that is probably that it's undoubtedly not perfect and never will be, but provides people a forum of opportunity to grow. I've said this before, but I'll close with this. I want to thank everybody who's been a part of my trading life over the years and over my current days. Those of you that have strengthened me. I go back to all of my mentors over the years. The market being number one mentor, certainly. But those that have worked with me and helped me over the years. I thank our current leadership team, Robin and Kim and Ben. I thank so many of you in the industry that are giving back. I would start to list names, which I may have done earlier in our room, but of people that are part of our network and are so giving or are so understanding. But I would be remiss, so I don't really even want to go there. Publicly, boy, I don't even know where to go. I know we all have different levels of business strategy and approach and personality as we do this business, and we all may have a little bit of a different reason for doing this. I have a specific reason for doing what I do, whether it was the blog, whether it was a Jelly program, or whether it's this network. I have a reason for doing that, which is not about how much money somebody can make off of this. It's about really trying to build something that's valuable. That is valuable beyond oneself. And so many of you are doing this, and I'm going to be remiss, but Brent Stiebarger, what you provide in the industry is great. Mike over at SMB, we don't really communicate. We're not engaged in network together, but what you do in this industry is incredible. I thank you for that. David, that we had a conversation with last weekend. I love you, man. I love you. We are all in this business together. We are all in this business as human beings. Verneman, the stuff that you do on Twitter is just incredible. I do wonder and love sometimes how you can withstand 10, 12-point swings against you. But you've got some gold there, and hopefully we've all got some nuggets that we try to share. Linda Ratchke, Damon Pavlatos, I could go on. Thank you, all of you, for what you've done in my life, and to the extent that I've been able to give back at least a smidge of what you folks have done in the industry. It will hopefully be a life well rewarded. So as I approach the age of 58 and we approach the end of the year, we approach the holiday, I wish all of you a successful year for 2019. May God be with you. May you do things that you never thought you were capable of. May we all grow together in one way or another as we approach the new year. I love you all. Thank you so much. If I've gotten a little emotional, I apologize. But we're heading off for the holidays, and we'll be back after the weekend. So God bless you all. Thank you so much for being a part of my life and for accepting me for who I am. Take care. Bye.